All right, I will call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. We'll start with a roll call. Oh, please have this paper. Sorry. I said no, but I lied. It's okay. I forgot my binder. Thank you. All right, Kelsey? Here. Merle?
Here.
Heidi?
Here.
Glenn?
Here.
Jenny? Here. Robert? I'm running late. It's probably stuck on I-5. Crystal? Here. If you'll join me for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would open up the floor to agenda considerations.
I'll make a motion, we accept the agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We'll move to public comment. We have Mr. Roper. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
Hi.
Positive feedback for you.
Just 1 minute. Robert joined the meeting at 6:01 p.m. Go ahead.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Bush, and community members. My name is Charles Roper and I live in Aurora. I'm here tonight with my parents, Al and Sally Roper, who are sitting behind me. We're here together because we wanted to express our heartfelt gratitude to Superintendent Bush, Diane Lotch, and the entire North Marion team for the incredible support they extended to our family. Last summer, my niece and nephew, Rita, 3 years old, and Adam, 6 years old, faced a dangerous situation that made it necessary for my parents and me, along with many others in the community, to step in and help secure a safe and stable life for them here in Oregon. My parents in particular were suddenly reintroduced to parenting during retirement, which brought some unique challenges. Fortunately, we weren't alone in that effort. I work at GK Machine, and when the owner, Gary Grossen, heard about the situation, he personally renovated a home in Donald to welcome Adam and Rita into the North Marion community. The school district immediately stepped in to help as well, and their support made all the difference. Within 24 hours of hearing about the situation, Dan and Diane took action to ensure both kids could enroll in summer school, giving them a much needed opportunity to feel stable, safe, and supported. Their fast response was incredible, and it left a lasting impression on me, especially knowing that Dan had just stepped into his role as superintendent. But what happened afterward was even more impressive. The entire North Marion team worked together to support 2 children who arrived with significant behavioral challenges. Through a combination of patience, guidance, and structure, the district gave my niece and nephew exactly what they needed to succeed. In the classroom, their teachers worked hard to help them develop emotional regulation skills using tools like Kelso's Choice. When Adam struggled with focus and behavior early on, his teacher, Mrs. Casey Robles, reinforced positive choices with positive pup awards, something Adam took a lot of pride in. I brought a picture with me tonight of the 8 positive pup awards Adam earned during his time at North Marion. I remember how proud he was when he brought home his first one. His teacher had written a note that said Adam had earned the award for being on task with his reading partner, a new activity that required focus and independence. Moments like that made an enormous difference for Adam, and he treasured those awards, keeping them safely locked away in his little treasure chest in his room. Beyond the classroom, Adam and Rita met regularly with Mr. Matt Hanning, the school's guidance counselor. They both told me they always felt safe and comfortable with Mr. Matt, something that meant so much to our family during a difficult time. The support continued outside of school as well. My father stepped in to handle transportation for Adam and Rita's extracurricular activities. This allowed Adam to participate in North Marion's soccer program, a sport that became an important outlet for him. His coach, Amanda Kale, who also happens to be a teacher in the district, consistently reinforced the same principles he was learning in the classroom. That consistency was key to his growth. Meanwhile, my mother attended weekly parenting classes led by the primary school principal, Kimberly Jordan. Those classes became an incredible resource for my parents as they navigated the unexpected challenges of parenting again. Throughout the school year, the entire North Marion team provided an amazing structure for my niece and nephew, and their lives are forever changed because of it. I know that this kind of environment doesn't happen by accident. It's a reflection of strong leadership. I truly believe this positive culture exists because of the dedication and guidance of Dan, Diane, and the entire administrative team, including you, the school board. I'm incredibly grateful for that, and I wanted to be here tonight to say thank you. Before I close, I'd like to share one last thing. I brought another picture with me tonight, a poster that Adam proudly made for his bedroom wall. In big bold letters, it says, "I love Casey," his first grade teacher. I don't know how many kids love school so much that they make a sign like that, but to me, this poster says it all. It's proof that North Marion is more than just a school district. It's a place where students feel safe, valued, and supported. Thank you for creating that kind of environment, and thank you for the lasting impact you've had on my family. I plan to connect with Superintendent Bush to see how I can best give back to the district and help ensure this positive growth continues for other families to experience. Through my role at GK Machine, I'll continue supporting programs like Manufacturing Day and welding classes, opportunities that provide students with valuable skills and pathways to success. As a Boy Scout leader, I'll keep working to ensure students have access to extracurricular programs that build confidence, leadership, and character. Values that North Marion teachers are already reinforcing so well in the classroom. And through my volunteer work with the city of Aurora, I'll do my part to help maintain a strong, positive relationship between the city and the district so that North Marion students continue to thrive in a supportive and enriching learning environment. I'm grateful for all you've done, and I'm committed to doing my part to help support your ongoing success.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for all you do.
Next, we have Ben Boswell.
Hi,
Hello, welcome.
hi, sir, so can you please be a little patient,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? So. So for this, there's been a budget cuts, but anyway, my name is Ben Boswell. And I haven't been part of the robotics team at North Marion for the past 3 years. I am currently a freshman at the high school. I have heard that some classes and clubs might be cut at the high school next year, and I am worried that robotics could be one of them. I wanted to tell you why robotics should not be cut. First off, it is the only engineering class offered at the high school. Second of all, robotics is a place where people are challenging and can learn to think outside the box to solve your unique problems. They also learn how to build and code robots, which can help students who are going into fields like engineering and computer science. In the robotics club, students learn some of the same skills as well as learning teamwork, collaboration, perseverance, and critical thinking skills. It also teaches valuable interpersonal and leadership skills needed for robotics competitions. For each tournament, your team has to have a strategy. If the strategy is not working, you have to adapt and make the necessary changes. In a robotics tournament, we are paired with different teams for each qualifying match. After qualifications, alliances are chosen for the elimination rounds. Teamwork is essential if you want to win a match with your partner team. Also during elimination rounds, you have to be careful about which boss you will want to ally with. Oftentimes, teams will try to arrange ahead of time which teams they want to pair up with for the elimination round. Learn to communicate well with other teams is important. As a future engineer, the skills I am learning in robotics will help me be more successful in the future. As you decide which classes to keep and which classes to cut, please consider keeping robotics.
Thank you.
Ben, thank you so much for having the courage to come and speak before the school board. And thank you
You're
for
welcome.
coming and doing public comment tonight.
Right. You're welcome.
And just, so you know, this was initiated by him.
That's great.
Thank you. Okay. Board communication, we have classified employees appreciation week, celebrating all of our classified staff.
Yeah, so last week was officially Classified Appreciation Week, and so I, being on every school's email, I got to see loads of appreciation being shared. And it seems like Friday, especially at the intermediate school, there was lots of good food shared. And you know, one story I've heard about classified employees that's kind of stuck with me over the years is you know, if you build a structure, especially something that uses glue, when the glue dries, sometimes kind of glue can be invisible there, but that glue, if it's not there, it'll fall apart. And that's kind of what our classified folks do for us. They are the glue that holds things together. A lot of their work is unseen, like that glue. And you know, and they play such a pivotal role with a variety of different skills, from the secretary in the office to the custodian to the aide working side by side. And I know that our licensed staff and administrators would say their work would be 100 times more difficult if it wasn't for our classified staff. So I know it was last week, but we really do appreciate all that our classified folks do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. High school ASB reports.
It's just Peter tonight.
Yeah, Kane and Riley are both sick.
Oh, no.
Kane had a thing called whooping cough for a week, and then she got food poisoned last night,
Oh, no.
so she's been going through it. But hopefully I can step into her shoes a little bit. Okay, so I guess to start off, we have ASB. ASB just hosted our winter sports assembly and are excited to announce that we are reintroducing the concept of spirit points for next year. We will also be doing a test run of Spirit Week for prom. So we're kind of working towards doing a test run with spirit points towards as for prom, basically. So just kind of making sure it works out. And basically classes are competing to earn a pizza party at the end of the year, because who doesn't like pizza? For FBLA is gearing up and excited for their annual zoo field trip with the Big Brother Big Sister program, as well as prepping to send me and Abigail Aiken to Stink. So we're excited for that. FFA is getting ready for their state convention in Redmond next week, and then the livestock sale for fair animals shortly after, followed by their annual spring plant sale. And then Key Club recently visited the primary schools to celebrate Literacy Day. with the kids. They handed out fun bookmarks and spent the day reading to classrooms and helping encourage kids get excited about reading. It was really fun. Sorry, NHS is continuing their homework help on Mondays. And they're excited to open new applications for any new members that are excited to join. So junior year, you can, or sorry, sophomore year actually now. If you're interested, you know. Skills USA. Skills USA is excited for their state competition on April 11th and 12th at Knife River Training Facility in Albany. They have 5 competitors for culinary. Three of those are also doing bakery and pastry, and two in construction, 4 in welding, sculptures, and 1 in photography, a robotics team, and 1 participating in prepared, and that's a long word, and extemporaneous speaking. Don't know that word. They're excited and looking to show up strong for North Marion. I'm gonna guess it means arduous. And yeah, so that's all for the update for this month. Some big words in there that I didn't know, so Kane will be mad at me, but it's okay. Yeah, I appreciate you for any time. Any questions?
Did Spirit Week, it's coming back,
Yeah.
so did it go away during COVID or?
Yeah, over COVID, and then the previous few years, we've kind of tried to bring it back, but there's been some complications, so Tucker's recently stepped in as our new advisor, and so he's been pretty full charge on trying to bring Spirit Points back, and yeah, so.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have an extemporaneous question.
I couldn't answer it. All right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Thank you, you too.
UNME leadership will not be here this evening. I'm so correct, right?
Correct.
We're gonna acknowledge the overnight field trip, FFA. Huh? FFA. I know, I should have brought my glasses. Did I?
Yes.
Travels on my brain, no. FFA State Leadership Conference, March 20th through the 23rd, 2025 in Redmond, Oregon. And then we'll move on to the consent agenda and I entertain a motion.
Just one.
Oh,
quick little-
sorry.
That's okay. So one quick, a little bit of an announcement or clarification is as I did get an email from Merle this evening. And I think it's just point to clarification that contract renewals and layoff procedures or RIF procedures are 2 different procedures.
Correct.
They're 2 different processes. And for us, our thinking, which was confirmed by our legal counsel, is to move forward with contract renewals. Should recalls occur later in the spring, in the summer, those folks their contract would still be in place for them to return to work. So just wanted to clarify that out there, that these are 2 different processes that we're undertaking.
Thank you for the clarification. Anything else?
No, that cleared it up for me, that taking the one action doesn't preclude doing the other later, and that was interesting. Thank you.
I entertain a motion.
We're on the consent agenda, right?
Yep.
I'll move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Any other clarifying points besides what Superintendent Bush gave us? We'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We're on number 4, business and budget appropriations.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you have any questions on what I present on a monthly basis, but wanted to let you know that we did get our adjusted December to June ratio for 24-25. That happens every year about this time. And we are down about $70,000 from that. And we did get our first estimate for 25-26, and we're up about 146,000 there. Since I wrote this, we got another estimate for 24-25, and we lost another 27,000. So in the end, we're about 50,000 ahead of ourselves, so we'll see, this will keep happening. Are there any questions for me? Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to board action. We're going to appoint budget committee members. Do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Diane, am I missing any information? Okay, so, do I hear a motion to appoint Jill Schlosser? How close am I?
You're very, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's great.
To the budget committee?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Jill Schlosser to the budget committee and thank her for her service.
Excellent.
I will second that.
Hearing a first and a second, any discussion?
I have a question,
Yes, go ahead.
and this, it's not meant as a deter, I just want to be clarifying on this. Are you married to a current staff member?
I am.
Marion? So I just want to be sure that that's not a conflict of interest. Okay, just want to get that out there.
I also have a son in the district,
Oh, that's great.
so, and I'm a K-12 alum of North Marion, so all around, I am ingrained.
There is no conflict.
Thank you for clarifying that, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hearing a first and a second and discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Welcome to reading material of the budget. Thank you again for volunteering and your service. We appreciate you. And then,
So the recommendation to approve the non-resident transfers for 25-26 is what has been done in the past, that there's no changes to what has been done. I look forward to learning more about it, so I'm not here to present anything about that piece, and that link is to our website, as you can see there. So everything is as has been done in the past. A couple things I do want to, that's been brought up, both, related to the budget conversations. There have been questions around enrollment, and so I do want to just give you some data points here. So we are still what you would call a net in district in terms of more students coming in than leaving, but it's not by a big margin. We have 67 students transferring in and 56 students going out. So it would be my curiosity to figure out why folks are wanting to go out. We would want to create a place where we want to keep people in and have more wanting to come here. So that'll be something that I'll look into, more into next year, but I just wanted that data out there. The other thing that I think is another sort of related topic is something that we may need to explore in the future is online programs. Right now, we have 31 students who are not attending North Marion schools because of online or homeschool options. And we've 13 are at the high school, 13 at the middle school, 3 at the intermediate, and 2 at the primary. So clearly secondary, people are looking to that as an option. And so I think that for next year, it's something that Des and I have talked a little bit about, of figuring out, would there be, of these 31 students, how many of them could we capture to come to us if we had an online option for folks? How much does it cost to start an online option? What have other school districts that have an online option, what have they encountered? So I don't think that we'd be back in the year saying we're ready to start something, but maybe back in the year to say, these are the pros and cons that we've learned in that process. But as we've been talking about budget and pointing to enrollment as a key contributor of it, those two questions about transfers and charters or online programs have continued to surface. So that's just some information for you related to that topic. So still an action item, still on the table for you there, yes.
Any other questions?
Do we exit interview our We don't, okay. Maybe we can't, I didn't even consider that. That might be beyond our
I think we
scope.
do some intervention strategies on some requests out. Such as, by law, we're not allowed to ask them why they want to leave,
Sure.
but if they offer that. And they're just struggling, then I can turn to one of the principals and say, hey. What's your support or feedback on this request out? And there are times where, they will meet with the family. And then they end up staying. And I just got, catch them before they go through the cracks.
Merle, you had a question?
Where does Orca fit into the online situation and funding?
Orca,
Yeah,
Oregon.
the charter,
It's one of the charter schools they can
Yes.
pick.
They're a public online charter.
And it means when a student asks to enroll, then they transfer out of our district into the district that is housing that. And so those school funds go to that new district.
so we don't get funds if students in our district are enrolled under them.
Orca, Connections Academy, Orva, which is like another one. We were looking up a bunch of them.
I have them all.
Yeah, there you go.
Frontier, also
Frontier.
yeah,
Sheridan, Summit,
there's one in Baker.
Baker, Colton.
So of the 56 going out, are they going to other schools or is that homeschool and charter?
So that 56 number, hold on a second here. I don't have the locations of where they're going.
But
on that one.
is that included?
So no, those are people that are. Looking at Diane's chart here.
Diane has some of it.
So do you, go ahead.
The 56 out are transferring to another public school, not an online program. To like Canby or Wilsonville or Woodburn or, a surrounding district. Typically, those reasons are based on childcare, logistics of the workplace, credit recovery. Numerous reasons, a bilingual program.
Any other questions before we do a motion? Merle?
The one other comment I've heard in the community, and it's not from very many people, is that sports were a reason that they. Friends, I don't know how widespread that is.
No, that's not allowed.
Well. Can't say it's
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we accept. I'm sorry, I'm looking for it on my. Where are we at? Recommended to approve non-resident transfers 2025, 2026.
Do I hear a second?
A second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. District operations report.
All right, this might be my shortest report. So I linked to you a letter that the area superintendents in the WSD sent regarding our recommendation for continued support for CTE with regional career centers. And so during this legislative season, it's important that we continue our advocacy efforts for things that make a difference for kids. And so you can look at that letter and read the fact that we do have a shortage of workers and lots of opportunities for kids to exit our school system ready to work. And so these regional centers are going to be important just for the state of the economy for the future, besides what it provides for kids. As you know, we participate in the Willamette Career Academy with the WSD. We do anticipate having a little bit more participation next year. The WCA has been responsive to the concerns that we've had, and we just know that these programs, while when they're new, they take a little bit to get started, but we know that there are plenty of careers for kids to enter into, and we need, as an educational system, need to be better equipped at being, preparing them for that. So I'm just linking that letter on there. When Linda and I get to talk a little bit about the budget, there's gonna be some other opportunities that we could reference in terms of our advocacy for funding for things that support public education. You all know this because you're on my emails that I send you, but if the public is watching, we have gone through a pretty thorough process for our high school principal process, and we are down to 3 candidates. And we're pretty excited about the strength that the candidates present because of the reduction process happening this week. We did pause the process or postpone it a little bit so that we could focus on that work this week. Des and I will be doing site visits to 3 school districts to learn more about the candidates and hoping to go from 3 finalists to 2 and have 2 candidates in front of our high school staff on Wednesday of next week. So that is where that's at. And thank you, Jenny, for being an observer of the process. The business manager update is that we are starting interview process this Friday with 2 candidates for that position. And thank you to Glenn for stepping into that process. With that, I'm gonna kind of open up this way a little bit to have Linda participate in this. We don't have a lot of new news to share. You've been in on emails and community communications with that, and this has been a tough road for our staff. And we know that impacts the community. I just need to express how incredible our staff have been, their professionalism through this process, knowing that whenever news is on its way that's not positive, this is a human business. You just work with human beings all day, and so to try to kind of keep that face front when you're working with little humans is hard to do, and our staff have done an amazing job of doing that. We are, since the last update, to move it from the 7th to the 13th, we will meet that deadline. We will have this process completed by this Thursday.
The first phase.
The first phase of the process. And so we will be issuing reduction notices this Thursday. Those will be delivered in person. And we do believe that having that as a half day will be the best for those receiving that and those giving the ample time for people to deliver that message without the distraction of our kids being here. That is the only news that we'll be sharing as far as those impacted by that decision. So there's been questions about what about people being reassigned or transferred? Those will not be happening this Thursday. Those are a lot of decisions coming down the road. A lot of things to take into consideration before that. And so right now, making the layoff notices, it has been our priority and is our only priority for this Thursday. Linda shared, a little bit of the budget updates there. I mentioned this to you a minute ago about advocacy. We are hearing that some PERS relief might be forthcoming, hearing about additional SPED funding. What those are won't be arriving to us until the end of May, maybe even early June. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Because we don't have those numbers, I believe that our reductions will be a little deeper than we had hoped. But we are hoping to get something to maybe be able to add back even 1 or 2. We won't know that till way late. As we go through this process, we continue to have resignations or people talking about it, so that would change things. If someone does resign after we've given out our notices on Thursday, then that might open up a position for someone else and a recall could happen sooner rather than later. So we're just keeping as positive as an attitude as we can in this environment and trying to work through it and be as thorough as possible. So when we do put out the information, it's accurate. And letting people know along the way what our process is.
And to that point, you know, one of the reasons for not making assignment announcements is if a recall came back in, what would that shuffle? And so that's another reason why we won't want to do that, make those announcements now. Have a thought, escaping me now.
We will get our state school fund final numbers for 23-24 May 15th. And that could mean something to us, should mean something to us, one way or the other. Right now, the legislature is very. We just don't know. They're saying that high cost disability for last year could either be funded anywhere between 30% and 80% of your amount over $30,000 per student. So for us, that's a spread of over $200,000 from 30 to 80. So unfortunately, we won't know that till late in the game in this budgeting process, and that makes it difficult to. You know, our people asked if we could just do the worst at first. We're not sure we can, so we're doing the best we can with the information that we have that continually changes.
And also budgeting that when we hear the potential of something like that, let's still base our decision on the lower number and not hope, you know, so, you know, to answer the question, have we gone deep enough? We're not sure. But we're also not going to be, making decisions on what might come from the legislature. We're going with more of our knowns that we know. And that's one thing I really appreciate about Linda and her approach to this is going with what is more known than what is unknown. Any questions for us?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. You know, Linda, at one time you had said, that it's just along those lines of like, we're gonna go with facts and what we know, not speculate and hope. So I really appreciate that approach. I appreciate you guys' the work and the transparency. Not an easy time for any school district, that's for sure, but I feel like you've done well for us, so I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Glenn, you have anything?
Yeah.
Heidi?
No.
Merle?
No.
Robert? No. Kelsey? Yeah, I just echo what Jen says, like, thank you for just continuing to be flexible and updating numbers as you get them and for keeping, you know, the best case scenarios that we have at and the positive attitudes and stuff. And I just like to also thank the staff, because I know that this is a tough culture and environment to be in right now. And to give your best foot forward for our children. I just really appreciate that, because I know how difficult that can be to finish the school year. So thank you for being selfless in that.
I guess I do have one to add, just so the public knows, not to, I think the board already does, but the list went out late last week that showed the seniority of people. And that was a very tough day or two for our staff, because if you're close to the bottom of those lists, it's really, really hard. And I think everyone, all of our principals and everyone are trying to be as compassionate as possible, because it's sobering.
All right, Jim? Good.
I'm good.
All right, moving on, future meetings and topics. Number 7, We kind of have a laundry list there that we're working on, but I feel we've probably absorbed enough right now. Just one note, are we planning on a, work session or are we not?
At this point, I would say we are not having a work
Okay.
session in March. It fell on spring break. I think that where we were kind of maybe a month ago, will we need one? Will we not need one? I think kind of the general consensus is not. So at this point, unless you hear otherwise, there will not, our next meeting will be April. Maybe think it's the 14th. Yep.
Yeah.
So our next meeting would be April 14th.
Okay, excellent. So we're gonna adjourn this business meeting, but first I want to read the executive session, which is number 9. The board will now meet in executive session according to ORS 192.662I to review and evaluate the performance of the chief executive officer, which is our superintendent. We'll be taking a brief 10-minute break and then we'll go into executive session. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.